All right, so today, you guys, we're gonna work some more with radial symmetry. And today, you guys are each choosing your own kind of direction with this project. So some of you are going to choose digital, some of you might choose to use paint, some of you might choose to use pencil. I wanted it to be something where you could choose on your own based on what you have available. Because when I took that survey question to see what everyone had at home, it was kind of, everyone was a little all over the place. So I just want to make sure everyone can do this project, but you can do it with what you have, okay? And so earlier this week, you guys did a cool piece where you created using some just pieces from your environment. So today you're going to create using whatever kind of art materials you have in your environment. So I'm going to show you how to first lay out a radial symmetrical piece. And the first thing we want to do is we want to create a vertical line of symmetry and a horizontal line of symmetry. And depending on how you're doing this or what material you're using, like I'm using a square piece of paper. You don't necessarily have to use a square piece of paper. If you have a circle, if you have a rectangle, just make sure you center it, okay? I could turn this way if I wanted to. I could have cut this into a circle. It would still come out as radial symmetry because we're still going to be creating the balance radiating from the center, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to kind of like lay it out so that it creates, so it's balanced. So I'm going to, oh man, is my marker dead? I'm going to draw the horizontal line of symmetry right here. And then I'm going to draw the vertical line of symmetry. And that just helps me space out my area that I'm working with. And mapping out before you start the design for a mandala really helps you stay on track, okay? All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw two diagonal lines of symmetry. And your diagonal lines of symmetry should go from the corner of your paper through the center point, okay? And then now you have kind of like some basic areas to lay in. Now, if you want, you might say, I want some more radiating lines. You could easily do that. If I wanted more radiating lines, I could come down here and I could divide these pieces into even small, I'm sorry, these shapes into even smaller pieces. I could do that. And then you've created some more lines of symmetry. That's fine. If you want to create more, create more. I just am looking for you to create a vertical, a horizontal, and two diagonals to get the space going. Okay? All right. Then the next thing I like to do for the layout is to take my ruler. If you don't have a ruler, just something that you can mark off an equal measurement somewhere on each space. And that just helps me create create even design. And so what I like to do is right here, I'm looking, and this diagonal line is 6. So what I like to do is I like to go and I make little hash marks at each inch. And I'm going to do that all the way across my page. And that just helps me keep everything in line. That's all. It's not, you don't have to base your design off these hash marks, but in a second here, I'm going to show you why they're important. I'm only going to work from the top half right now, just because it'll take too much time. So now I've created these little hash marks. They're each an inch apart. So I know anything that I put on this left diagonal and I put it on the same side on the right diagonal, they'll be evenly spaced. That's the point of the hash marks, okay? You don't need to put a design on each hash mark. It's just there to kind of guide you through, to map out your paper, all right? Okay, so now you need to create your design. Well, you've got some interesting ways you could do that with the mandala. You could either create your mandala design within these spaces themselves, or you can create right along the lines of symmetry. And let me show you what I mean. So if I wanted to, I could come over here and I could say, okay, you know what? I'm going to start, I'm going to create, sorry, this is going to be really sketchy. So maybe right along this line of symmetry, I'm just going to start my design. And so I drew this on the left, so you know I have to go and draw it on the right. And then maybe I decide here I want a circle, so then I would come here and draw a circle. See how I'm creating along the line of symmetry, almost like a snowflake? That's one way you can create using this. You could create within these shapes, and this is what I mean. Maybe you're like, okay, I want to black out this space, and so then I would black out this next space the same, and then maybe you're like, maybe you want to curve over, and then maybe you want to curve over that way. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit uneven because I didn't use my hash marks right there, but I think you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying. So you can kind of, so if you want to create your mandala within the shape, that's totally fine. Or if you want to work along the lines of symmetry. I'm going to post some photos of what last semester's students did, because we did this exact same project with pen and ink. Obviously, they had a lot more direct guidance from me during class, so they'll don't look at those pieces and think, oh, I can't do that. Remember, they did them in class, and I was there to guide them step by step. So you're doing this kind of on your own. Make sure you try to fill in the whole page with color or line or shape or design. Keep it symmetrical. I'll post a couple other videos on actual Tibetan monks creating mandalas the authentic way. And then I'll post a couple videos so that you can see there's other ways to do this. This is my way that I think is it's the easiest way for beginners to get started, but there's definitely lots of other ways to make mandalas. Okay. All right. And remember, email me with questions or join my office hours, because I know this was a super quick, fast video, and I may have lost some of you. I apologize. So just shoot me an email if you have some questions, or just stop by today or any Thursday or Friday at 11, and I can help guide you through this. All right, this is meant to be meditative. This is meant to be fun. This is meant to be relaxing. I thought that would be a good thing for this week. All right, great. Have fun, guys.